So Liam, I was here New Year's Eve of last season. We had a chance to talk here in this room. It was right before you were named captain. When you were named captain, what did that honor mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously wins are such a great spot to play, and I've been treated so well here for the last 3 years, and I had a captain, Matthew Maggio, who really paved the way for me, and getting that honor and being named amongst some of the captains that have been here, it's a big honor for sure.
What did watching the OHL, growing up in an OHL city yourself, how did that shape your journey in hockey?
Yeah, I think our team, we went to a lot of Oshawa Generals games. Obviously, I'm from Oshawa, and I got to see a lot of great players play, like John Tavares, and it was super cool. I mean, just kind of watching them, you don't think you can really make it to that level, and then obviously I'm here, and it's been a crazy ride, and I'm super excited, and I'm excited to see what we can do going forward.
You think about, again, a year ago you're named captain. Really, a lot of things have gone well for the Spitfires ever since. What do you think are the biggest reasons why this season has unfolded so differently from last year?
Yeah, I think for me, obviously a lot of it is, our coaching, and we got Greg Walters in as our head coach, and he's been nothing but amazing for us. And I think a lot of it is also our culture and the culture that we've built inside the room, and just making sure that we're all pushing ourselves at all times, and we all trust each other, and it's been a lot of fun this year. So yeah.
I asked the same question of Jack Nesbitt, but I want to get your estimate too. How many guys on this team of very tall players could dunk a basketball, do you think?
Honestly, I'm not one of them, I'll tell you that for free, but I'm thinking at least two. I've got a couple guys in my mind that can definitely dunk a basketball.
When you guys walk into an arena on the road, if you guys got some serious presence, how does the size that you bring and just the physicality of, especially your forward group, how does that really create the swagger around the Spitfires this year?
Yeah, I think, we come into games thinking that we're the best, and that's because I think we all believe that. And, that's huge. That mindset right there is what gives us an edge against, a lot of the tougher teams. So I think, when we play hard and physical, there's not one team in the OHL that can play with us.
We see what Protas can do during the games. I wonder, what's he like in practice?
It's the exact same in practice. He's obviously an unbelievable player, and he went third round of the Capitals, and I think he's one of the biggest steals of that draft, and he's such a great guy, and I love him to death. So hopefully he's back with us next year, but he's been great this year, and we're gonna keep rolling.
So his English, does he have some go-to phrases that he'll often say that he's got this really good sense of humor?
Yeah, no, he's a really funny guy. I probably can't say most of the things he says, but no, he's awesome, and he doesn't know too much English, but he's got it down good enough for sure.
So for this skills competition, I've got you and Jack Nesbitt on my team, Team Blue, and I'm wondering, how confident should I be that one of our guys could beat AJ Spellacy in the fastest skater competition?
I'm not very confident in that. He's probably the fastest guy I've ever played with, but I mean, there's a lot of turning in there, so maybe we could grab him on that, but I'm not too sure, to be honest.
What have you enjoyed the most about watching AJ's game grow over the last couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, AJ's obviously a guy who was a multi-sport athlete, when he got drafted here, and he was a very good football player, and I think when he first got drafted here, we got drafted at the same time, and he wasn't too sure what he was going to do, and obviously he stuck with us, and I'm so happy he did, because he's just grown over these past years, and it's been honestly remarkable. I think he's one of the most athletic guys I've ever met, and you can obviously see it in his game, and he's just continuing to get better.
For your game during the course of the season, Liam, what have been the things that you focused on the most in your own development?
Yeah, I think for me, obviously the big thing was my skating, and just getting faster and a couple steps, more fast. And I think that's what I've done. I think there's a couple plays this year that I've made where I've really used some speed, and so I think people are kind of starting to recognize that, and it's something I worked really hard on in the summer, and I think there's still obviously some more progress to be made. So just got to keep working at that.
Is that quickness mostly in the first step, or do you feel like more over the a longer stride where you can really chase down a puck a little more easily?
Yeah, I think it's the first couple steps. I think, coming in, my first year and last year, my first 3 steps were a little slow, and obviously, teams were really looking at that. So obviously, that was something that I really worked on, and I think it's progressed very well.
Now, during the summer, when you're working on your shot, what's your preferred way of doing that? Are you someone that's just going to just shoot tons of pucks every day, or how do you work on that shot, which gets better and better, it seems, every year?
Yeah. I think, there's obviously little bits and pieces of, shooting just kind of sitting still and in one spot. But then obviously you gotta make some game-like scenarios because, you're not standing still in a game. And so I think for me, a lot of it is just making sure that I'm doing game-like situations because that's when it really helps. And I think that's what's really helped for me.
So it's interesting. I remember hearing the story once about Sid when he'll work in the summer. He will ask people to pass the puck into his skates because he realizes that in a game, that's often what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It seems like it's the same kind of philosophy for you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously, Sidney Crosby's one of the best players to ever play hockey. I think he is the best player to ever play hockey, and obviously he has some crazy work ethic, and that's obviously something that he does. And I've definitely done that in practice. I know Protus has done that in practice, so I think it's the game-like scenarios that really help with your game.
I know I'm not alone in saying this, but you should have been on Team Canada at the World Juniors, in my opinion. I know certainly a lot of people agree with me on that. But for you, Liam, did that give you a certain renewed sense of focus that you brought into the second half now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it kind of sucks not being named to, Team Canada. But, for me, I mean, I'm a pretty level-headed guy, and I know what I need to do to get better, and I know what I need to work on. And my first year I didn't make U17's Team Canada, and I think that's when I really started to really dial in my game. And so it was kind of the same kind of thing, just using it as motivation. And there's always next year. So for me, I think next year there's a big goal there for making World Juniors and leading Team Canada to a gold medal for sure.
And then with the Kings, of course, taking in the first round, Liam, what have been the bits of feedback that you've gotten from them? Have there been development coaches that have stayed in really close contact this season?
Yeah, I mean, their development team has been really good and really great with me, especially. I've had Mike Donnelly has come down and done some skills practices with me down in Windsor, so it's been great. And he does a lot of working with just shooting and getting the puck off nice and in stride, and so they've done a lot of shooting with me, and I think that's what they kind of want me to be at the next level, is someone who can really shoot a puck and put up points.
Some high-intensity games you've played against London this season, Liam, and I wonder, when you participate in these rivalry games, you certainly know a lot of the guys on their side. You played against them and with them in different contexts over the years, but what has that rivalry really felt like for you this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot, more serious for me. I think, my first year and last year I didn't really feel it as much, and I think last year that's because we weren't as good, and my first year, I was still a rookie. So this year being a bigger piece to the puzzle, it's been so awesome. And obviously we beat them last game. They were here, and that was so fun. And that feeling kind of sticks with you, and you kind of want to feel that in their barn and see how it is. So we're looking to play them in the Western Conference Finals, and we'll see how that goes.
And does that win, obviously in dramatic fashion, AJ has the shorthanded goal, the way that game unfolded, how you won, does that give you a certain confidence that, hey, if you see him in that Western Final, you got a chance?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we were down 3-0 at one point, and I kind of felt that, we still had it, and so I think our guys just really dialed in and they stayed focused, and I think that's a big part of games like that, is especially when you're down, is to just stay in it, and it's never over till it's over, and obviously we came out with the win.
One last one for you. I think, if I know my history right, you played a lot with Zane Parekh over the years. How much do you enjoy being in the same division, of course, but going against him? He's a fun player to watch. I know a fun player to play against. But what's that rivalry and friendship like for you and Zane?
Yeah, Zane's obviously a guy I've kept in contact with for a long time, and he's a really good guy. And it's always fun playing him, and he's always joking around. So sometimes I'm not the happiest camper when I'm out there, so I don't kind of buy into it. But no, he's still a great guy, and it's really fun playing against him.
Well, you might see him in the playoffs, and you might see your friends in London in the playoffs as well, Liam. So thank you so much. Keep it going.
Thank you
All
so
the best.
much.
Thanks.